do like how you have to hold that. That's your fidget.
Roundabout way possible. In the order of the alphabet.
Harry Potter is cozy compared to this.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Reading Queens podcast. We are here recording on Halloween. For those of you who know, Halloween is October 31st.
Oh, Halloween. I can't do my monster voice, Valia. She told me to try and do my monster voice, and I was like channeling it really well earlier, but
no longer. As soon as you push that record button, Hannah is back to being Hannah.
It's tragic.
Anyway. Well, yes, we're here to talk books. I'm Valia. Hello.
I'm Clari. Hello.
I'm Hanna. Did that work?
Oh,
there you
that
go.
was a little better. I was trying to do the, before we start the podcast, I do the little clip bits, and I was like, Hannah, the monster voice, use it. But
It's
anyway, she has failed me. There you go. That's a little better.
There is a very small chance that someone will come and knock on my door trick-or-treating, but probably not, because the Dutch don't really celebrate it. But just in case, I'm putting this out there that I may have to run and answer the door and give small children sweets if they dare come to my door.
Did you buy candy?
They
just in
dare.
case? Just in case candy?
I do have some just in case, yes.
I used to buy just in case
That's
candy,
so nice.
but I had to realize after a while I was just buying myself candy. So then I just started buying myself candy. It's totally fine. But kids don't come to my door.
Yeah, we definitely don't buy just in case candy because I don't want anybody at my house, and they come anyway, but I just sit in the corner quietly in the darkness and I'm like, go away.
Happy Halloween!
I don't have time for this. No, there's so many kids in my neighborhood, and everybody, like, my neighborhood they have, like, decorations on for the whole, month of October. Actually, since September, they've had decorations on. So I'm like, there's plenty of houses for you to go to and get, like, the big candy bars. So don't come to my house for little candy bars, because that is what you would get.
But you get nothing.
I just realized that I do actually have candy because I bought it for Awana. But anyway, that's
beside
the point. Don't come to my house, okay? This is for everybody. Always. I'm just kidding. Okay, anyway.
No one's allowed to visit Valia.
No one is allowed. So, Clari, what have you been up to?
I am in a wind orchestra. I play the clarinet, and we have our concert coming up in a couple of weeks. So last weekend was our rehearsal weekend, and we had like 7 hours of rehearsals over 2 days.
Oh.
It was a bit hardcore, so I'm still recovering from that. But we're having a concert on the 13th, so that will be exciting.
Fun.
That'd be cool. Yeah, do you guys have like a theme that you go, like the concert is a themed concert, or is it just like a bunch of songs that they put together and
it is a
play?
Bunch of random songs they've got put together, and a theme of from classics to the top 2000.
Okay. No, that works. That works. Okay.
So we've got some
That's
Bizet
cool,
in
though.
there, some proper classical music, and then we're also playing like Africa by Toto. And some
Nice.
Blues Brothers and like all the random
So like classic
things.
classics and classic rock classics?
Yeah.
All right.
That's cool. I mean, that's like a fun
That's
thing.
fun though. I played clarinet in high school, but I have not played it since then.
I have not, so I'm not in the cool kids club.
It's
on
pretty
this
cool.
one, but
Clarinet.
Yeah.
We're the awesomest.
no, it's cool.
It took
Musical
me
instruments
quite
are
a while
cool.
to some years to realize how well it went with my name, which is kind of embarrassing to say now.
Clarinet.
That's hilarious.
Did you play it in school?
I love it.
Yes.
Because I feel like someone should have pointed that out to you.
Probably should have done, but yeah.
That's their nicknames.
They're too
for
nice
it,
over
I guess,
there.
Oh, there are enough other reasons that people were mean to me.
So. They didn't need to start with the clarinet.
Yeah.
Well, I love that.
Yeah, that's adorable. I like it. Step fully into it.
Yes,
It's your aesthetic.
yes.
Oh, that's cute. Well, Hannah, are you playing any concerts?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
Okay, I do have a fun story though, involving my chickens. So yeah,
Okay.
I have chickens, and I feel like this is on brand for me because I'm actually writing my chickens into my next book. Yes, because it's Snow White, but instead of the 7 dwarfs, I'm having 7 chickens. So I'll have like a sleepy chicken and like a sneezing chicken
Cool.
and like a dopey chicken.
Oh my goodness! All I can picture is the Moana
Hey,
chicken.
hey.
That's like the crazy. Yeah.
We do, when our chickens are done, we call them hey heys for sure. Anyway, so I mean, I kept seeing on TikTok these videos where they get the chickens to carve a pumpkin for Halloween. And I thought I have to try this. I have to try this. So I did is I took this pumpkin and you carve like you just like peel off the pumpkin skin in the area you want the chickens to go for, because that like guides them to like the easier stuff to peck at, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then set it in the chicken yard for them. And at first I think they thought it was a trick, not a treat. They were very afraid of the jack-o'-lantern. They're like, what's happening?
They're like, oh.
But it's in there for a day and a half now, and they have pecked like the whole mouth through and one of the eyes, and they're working on the other eye, and it is like, it's deeply disturbing looking. It's so funny. And you just look in there, there's just like chickens like pecking at its eye. It's very
awesome.
Halloween vibes, and it made me laugh a lot. So I'll put it up on I'll put a reel or a story on the podcast Instagram on Wednesday when this comes out, because it's so funny.
You should definitely do like a creepy video reel, like put like a creepy, spooky music and whatever, and then just like do like slow motion video and like really fast. I have like this image in my head now.
Got some slasher vibes going on. This poor little pumpkin.
Yes.
It's
my gosh, that's
I'm not
funny.
a generally creepy person, but I mean, it's chickens. It's not that creepy, but it's funny. And then you put a candle in it, and it's got like the strings hanging down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a really cool idea, though.
Yeah,
like,
I thought it was really
why
funny.
not?
I was hoping it would work, and yeah, it did. It did pretty good. My cousin tried it with her chickens, and it didn't work. So I was like, "Come on, chickens, make me some content."
You're cool. Yeah.
I need something to post on TikTok.
You're like, my chickens are
Come on,
awesome,
chickens.
Okay? I don't know about your chickens, but that's awesome.
I have to get in my like chicken mom mindset. I'm not like super chicken, some people are super chicken moms. And that's what I'm going to make Nev, my character, is going to be one of the, like the kind that like makes some sweaters when they're cold and like bakes some cookies out of chicken feed. Like that's how she's going to be. So I'm trying to like channel my inner chicken mom. It's pretty funny.
Oh my gosh, I love it. That's a really cool concept for the Snow White, though. Like, that is not something that has been done before,
It was seeming like too epic, so I needed to bring it back into cozy fantasy territory. And I was like, what do I need? Chickens. This doesn't occur to anyone else, I guess.
We used to have chickens growing up, and my mum always wanted to do it. Well, she didn't learn about it till we were too big, and then she wanted to do it with the grandchildren, but they got rid of the chickens before my children were really the right age. But what she wanted to do was like Easter Saturday evening, go out and feed the chickens chocolate, and then the next morning you go out, and she swapped out the eggs for chocolate eggs. So you go out, and it's like the chickens have laid the Easter eggs.
That's awesome. I never had chickens, but my family did. When we went to visit them in Ukraine, my aunts and uncles all had chickens and stuff like that because they live in a village, and so I just remember us taking pictures with like the little chicks. We always took pictures with the little chicks.
Have to.
It was so
They're
funny.
adorable.
It's like, I know, but like every single summer, here you go, there's more. Yeah, that's all I remember.
We hatched 2 batches of chicks this summer, and it was adorable.
I remember, yeah. That was cute. Well, I don't have any chicken stories or any horror stories at all. I know I am very disappointed as well. This seems like something that I need to add into just my life, but I won't.
Living in the city in Arizona.
You'll just have to live vicariously through Hanna with her chickens.
Yeah, I mean our old house where we lived before this one was kind of like there was a neighborhood, but then right across the street going into the neighborhood there were all these horse properties, and so they're like huge and they have like everything. So there was a rooster there that woke us up all the time, so I'm sure they had chickens as well, kind of thing. But I don't have a desire to own any chickens. I just have a desire to film them do creepy things. Yeah. Though, for sure.
I don't do very much work for the chickens, I have to admit, because we do them with my landlord, and then my kids do all my chores. Which I think is good for them. It builds character. And then I get to
That's why
feed
you have
them
children, right?
jack-o'-lanterns and snuggle the chicks.
I love it.
Get
Yeah,
it?
we actually didn't do anything for Halloween this year. Last year I went and visited my friend in Michigan, and we did like a haunted
Oh, I
house
remember, yeah.
walkthrough. But this year I have nothing. I did absolutely nothing. I mean, I watched some slasher stuff on TV and was disappointed, but I
that's
ranted
not
about this
like-
for like 2 episodes already.
That's
so
not Halloween,
we're not
Valia.
gonna talk about it.
That's
This is regular
standard
Valia, yeah. So anyway, we're just going to skip over my updates and go straight into books because I want to talk about this. This is our topic for the day, which I didn't announce earlier, but I'm sure you can read our title, is our favorite recent read. And this one was a hard for me, so anyway, we'll get to me. But Clari is going to start us off, and she's going to talk about her book, so go for it.
I am actually in the middle of book 2 of the series. So book 1 is Deadly Education. Book 2 is The Last Graduate.
Oh,
And
okay.
book 3, which I can't remember what it's called, The Golden Enclaves. Yes, this is just released or released recently. By Nova Novink. It's a Scholomance series, and it really has Halloween. Today is the right day to be talking about this. It really is a bit creepy in places. I've read a lot of reviews of this, and a number of them are like, "Oh, it's just a rip-off of Harry Potter." No, yeah, it has a magic school in it, but Harry Potter is cozy compared to this, because
Oh, wow.
yeah. So this is it's another hidden magic world but children who are growing into their magical powers are particularly tasty to monsters. So as a child, you're constantly, once you hit puberty until you're like 18 and an adult, you're like fairly regularly attacked by monsters that you have to get rid of.
Nice.
So some 100 years before, the magical community created this school that's sort of out of the world, this sort of artificially created building that's in the ether but doesn't really exist. So the children go there for 4 years to learn, and it's also a sort of hidden place so that it's meant to be more difficult for the monsters to get to. But there are still monsters there.
Naturally.
And
They put all the food in one place.
yeah, exactly.
I know,
Yes,
right?
exactly. And it's mostly automated, and there are no adults there. So these children go there for 4 years, and they're at the school for 4 years, and then
What could go
like
wrong?
Wow.
yeah, their exam hall that they have to finally get through is literally a battle. They have to go like 500 meters through this last room, which is where all the biggest monsters are, to get to the door to get out again. So like they're
So
4
if you
years.
survived to leave, then you graduated?
Yeah. So
Alright.
you've got to survive through
Okay.
the school to get to graduate.
But I have a question. If there are no like adults there, who teaches them? Do they actually like go to school?
Yeah,
Like, is
no,
it
they have
actually an
lessons. It's
academy?
all it sort of appears, and they get pieces of paper that appear with this is what your thing is, and they have to do it. And if they don't do it, then things go wrong, and essentially the school will kill them
Oh.
if they don't get sufficiently. And yeah, so
Awesome.
they,
I
they
thought the
can't.
school was for their safety.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
They're like, no.
It's just
Sort
to
of.
keep
Well,
other people from being inconvenienced when they get eaten by the
the
monsters.
the
Like,
death
all these
rate
stuff.
Yeah,
of
exactly.
children at the school is less than the death
Oh,
rate
wow,
of children
then.
not at the school. So it is better.
But it's not at a
Safety
zero.
first.
So. Oh my gosh, that sounds awesome.
And it's really. And Naomi Novik has a very different style of writing. It is incredibly descriptive, and there's a lot of information and things, and not very much really happens. Well, no, not really very much happens, but it does. It is definitely very slow paced. So it is this intriguing world, and these things go. The main character is incredibly snarky and bitter, because
I would be too.
well,
Nice.
also
Yeah.
the magical world has these enclaves. So the various groups of magicians get together, and they create these little places that are like the school. They're out of the world. They're in these sort of in the ether, and that are called enclaves. And it's incredibly prestigious to have a place in enclave because that is much safer. And she's grown up, and her mum isn't part of an enclave. They live in a yurt in Wales, so they're not protected by other magicians, and it's all a bit traumatic. And even the way the school is built and the way things work, the societal norms and the like internal politics within the school is very much biased towards the children who are from these enclaves, and really everybody else, they've only let in the other children who aren't from the enclaves as like cannon fodder for the monsters so the other ones can get out. So she's quite, but it is, yeah, she's not the nicest person. She also has a natural affinity for mass murder, which she's trying very hard not to tap into.
It seems like it would just be an advantage in this situation, though.
Well, she doesn't want to kill the
exactly.
people.
Oh, yeah, not the people.
I guess.
But if she gets taken away from all the monsters to kill, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Yeah, so, anyway.
That's on them.
Yeah, exactly. They should have thought of that before they stuck them all there with no adult supervision.
Yeah. So, yeah, she's partly trying to work out how the school works and partly trying to get through all of the school work together. The interesting thing about this compared to other school, like magic school books, is it's a 4-year school life. So she's at the school for 4 years. And book 1 is year 3.
Oh.
And book 2 is year 4, the final year. And then the third book in the series, which I think is the last one, is like the year after she's come out, which is, you know, not like Harry Potter, which follows the 7 years of the school.
The whole thing. Yeah.
One warning I will give you is that there are evil cliffhangers. And the cliffhanger at the end of book 2 is like the most evil one I think I have ever read.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. Well, if it's all out, then
It's not. I'm
there you
reading it
go.
in Dutch, and it's not published in Dutch yet.
Oh,
Coming out for another
well, that's
month.
on you as
So,
well.
yeah, that's true.
That's funny. That's cool though. I mean, I've seen people talk about it. There's a book talker that I follow and she's like obsessed with it. So I was like, "Oh, okay." But it didn't register when you said the name of the book. It didn't register that that was the series because I knew the name of the first book, you know. And so I was like, "What is that?" So that's cool. I mean, it sounds like very Halloween.
It is very Halloween.
Perfect October read.
I seem to be really into Halloween-y type reads at the moment, which is really not like me. But
how seasonally appropriate.
yeah, I think you are.
Yes. Success. All right, Hannah, talk about your book now.
I'm sorry. My cat on the ground is like attacking a hairbrush and throwing it around. So if you hear anything, I'm just going to take it from him. Just a minute.
It's a ghost. It's a monster coming to get her.
A very furry little monster. I read Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. First of all, still impressed that I'm reading audiobooks. Can't get over it. Very excited. It's great because I can sit and listen while I do my illustration work, and then I feel like I'm like working, and I don't know why I feel more accomplished listening to an audiobook than watching Netflix. It's really not that different.
Because you're getting
but
really
you're like,
done.
it's books, it's for my TBR. Totally works.
Exactly.
So these books, it's going to be a trilogy. Takes place after the Caraval trilogy, which I liked book 1, loved book 2, and was like, is she about book 3, which I feel like is how a lot of people felt about book 3. But in book 3 of that one of the fates is Jax, the Prince of Hearts. And a lot of people felt that he kind of got a raw deal in that book because he was sort of like, he wasn't quite a red herring boy, but, you know, like along those lines. There's like some chemistry between him and the girl, and you think it might be real on his part, and then, of course, she goes with her true love in the end. But, so they decided to give, Stephanie Garber decided to give Jax his own book. And we start off with Evangeline Fox, because Stephanie Garber is all about the aesthetic. It's like aesthetic first, characters and plot second, which I don't mind. I think it's pretty sweet. So, like, of course her name's Evangeline Fox. Like, what else would you name her? There's like, she gets her heart broken. She's in love with this boy, and then he announces that he's going to marry her stepsister and won't like tell her why or anything, and she's convinced he's cursed. So she goes to the church of the Prince of Hearts, because all the fates have like their churches, and prays that he'll help her stop the wedding and break the curse. So he shows up and is like, sure, I'll help you stop the wedding, and in return you have to kiss 3 people of my choosing. And she's like, what?
Yay.
He's like, not me, because his kiss is supposed to kill people, but like 3 other people. And she's like, agrees. I don't know why. Seemed like a good idea to her at the time. So he stops the wedding.
I mean, it's only kisses, right? So
So he stops the wedding by turning them all to stone. So if you have read the finale by Stephanie Garber, there was a wedding that everyone's turned to stone that they come across. So that's like what it is. That takes place then. And then, so then later on, it doesn't go well. He doesn't go back to her, and she still is stuck with these 3 kisses that she has to do for her bargain with Jax. And she goes up north. I can't remember if the country has a name or if it's just like up north to this other country. Oh, and she has rose gold hair.
I love it.
Because we're all about the aesthetic. I'm like, it's not just pink, it's rose gold. Okay. And it's like, there's this like series of balls or like a ball party thing that lasts until the prince chooses a bride, which is like a thing they do up there. So that's the setup. And there's like murder mystery elements and just aesthetic pretty things happening all the time. I'm giving it like 5 stars for now, but it kind of depends on how the series ends. I'm not buying the hardbacks until they're all done. And I know if I love it or not, because it really depends on how she wraps this up. I don't know where it's going to go.
I thought they were standalone part of the same series, but they like standalone books.
Like you thought that this book was like a standalone?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, I thought this was a standalone, and the second one is a standalone.
I'm pretty
and the
sure
third
that
one will be a
book 2
standalone.
is the same main character.
Oh, I mean, I have them, so I probably should just
You
look.
could let me know. The way it ends is very unresolved. She still has one kiss left that she has to give, I'm pretty sure.
Why did I think it was a standalone?
There is no resolution to any romantic threads, and there's a big like reveal at the end. So it's possible that she could switch characters because she did that with Caraval. But I don't know. I haven't looked it up to see what the next one is. I do have it on hold from the library, so I'm waiting for me to get the audiobook and I'll listen to that one. And I'll let you know.
I found the blurb of book 2 and it's still Evangeline.
Okay, good.
After Jack, the Prince of Hearts, betrays her, Evangeline Fox swears she'll never trust him again.
Spoiler, but Jax betrays people all the time.
You're spoiling stuff.
I think Jax betrays her like 3 times in the book. It's not that big a spoiler. It's his nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Fun. I mean, if you enjoyed the Caraval books, I feel like it's still like super on brand, very similar. Those ones did have more, just because of the way they were set up, they did have a more like satisfying romance kind of through them. Whereas in this one, I'm not as sure where it's going to go. Like, you're kind of hoping that she's giving Jax a romance because we're sad for Jax, but it's definitely not clear at the end of book 1 what's going to happen.
Okay.
Talking about romance, going back to the Last Graduate, there is romance in there, but it's really not believable. Just to
no. Don't read it for the romance.
Seriously? Yeah, don't read it for the romance.
Read it for the murdery snark.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I need to know that going in because I just finished a book that the whole book we really just thought that there was going to be romance, and there wasn't.
Well, there sort of is romance, but it's just like
been.
really. I really don't think I feel that. I think until like right at the very end, the ending scene is like incredibly dramatic and like heartbreaking, but the build up of the romance to get to that scene is a bit meh.
Okay.
So it's not like the strongest thread of the book, but some of it's really good.
No.
I'm not going to read it anyway.
good.
It sounds much too murdery for me.
I know Hannah's like, not for me. I mean, maybe I will check it out eventually, but I need to stop promising that when I hear books that sound good because
Like, I'm adding it to my TBR.
I just feel like I will fail.
Don't ask to look at my TBR.
Just never ask me if I actually read it, okay?
Sure. I have so many books I need to read, and I still keep buying new ones.
Well, yeah, that's what we do. I mean, that's normal. It's fine.
I'm glad
They're
they're all
emotional
electronic.
support books.
How it works. Okay, so my book, I am actually currently reading it. It comes out I was gonna say tomorrow, so it came out yesterday. When you guys are listening to this podcast, it came out the 1st of November. So it is The Luminaries by Suzanne Dennard, and I love Susan so
She's
much.
the Truth
Her writing
Witch one,
is
right?
just-
Yeah,
yes, that series. She's incredible. I was in my like steampunk murder mystery phase, and she has that deadly oh my gosh, what is the name of it? But her first trilogy, it's like a steampunk, and it's like a supernatural, and there's like a murder mystery, and it's so good. I love it.
The world needs more
so I've,
steampunk books.
It's true. So I've been a fan of her since then, and she just has like an amazing writing style, and I adore her. So this is her newest one, and when like the original blurb came out for it, because I'm almost positive this is the book that she kind of tweeted and then worked with, like people were making decisions, and
interesting.
I think this is the book that she did this with. And she like told it on Twitter first, and then she like wrote it and stuff. But anyway, I don't know if like, don't quote me on that. I'm not sure if this is the book or not, but it is a contemporary fantasy. So it is set like in our world where there's like phones and cars and like all this stuff, but it's set in this town that like nobody can find. You can't find it on a map. Your phone will not work there. And it's surrounded by this forest that is a forest of nightmares. Da-da-da. So our main character is Winnie Wednesday, and she wants
Winnie
to
Wednesday?
join the
That's another
Luminaries.
cool name.
Yes. Yeah, so there's a reason for this, because there's different families who are responsible. I think it's families or maybe different towns who are responsible for basically going out at night and protecting the town and the rest of the world from these monsters and nightmares. But they like have each day of the week.
Okay.
So Winnie Wednesday is Wednesday, like that's her day to protect. But she has been exiled because of her father was like a traitor and a witch and like all this stuff. So her family has been basically shunned. So now it's her 16th birthday, and she wants to do the hunter trials to become a luminary to prove herself and basically like restore her name with everybody and blah blah blah. But they're like deadly trials.
Naturally.
And so in this world there's like zombies and werewolves and like all of this stuff, right? And so and then these nightmares, I feel like, I'm trying to remember, I think it's like magical creatures go to bed and they dream nightmares, and those nightmares come to life in the forest. I'm almost positive that's correct. I might not be correct. I'm only like halfway through this book. But anyway, but then she enlists the help of this one person who was her ex-best friend. You know, that's like my thing. I love that. And he's
Your
like the
hot
resident,
ex-best friend.
yes, and he's like the resident bad boy now, and they're not friends because of all the shun, but she asked him to help train her so that she can survive the trials. And so like that is the setup of the whole thing. And
so they also have
there's,
training
like,
sessions even though they don't like each other? This is like all your
I
ids
know.
in like one, isn't it?
It is like my thing, right? So this whole book was written for me. It's fine. Thank you, Susan. But the writing style is really good, and I'm listening to the audiobook for it, and the audio is, oh my gosh, what is her name? It's Caitlin Davis.
Oh, yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's what it is. Yeah, so she's fantastic, right? We love her.
We love her.
And she's doing a really good job with this audiobook. I am loving it. So yeah, it's like, it's just written, like, I love Susan's books, so I am enjoying this already just because it's like her writing that I like love. But it's also like atmospheric and like moody, and just has like all of my ids, like all of the things that I love in one book. So I'm excited to finish it.
You have to tell me when you're done if you think it's a Hanna book or not, because it sounds half yes and half no. But I like Susan Dennard.
It's giving me so it's giving me Dreams Lie Beneath.
Well, I
like
was getting
that
some of
feel.
that from your, even like the nightmares coming to
and
life.
so- Right.
But you also
and
said
it's very-
zombies.
and that was a Hanna book. Yeah, but I don't know if it's zombies. It might be vampires.
Okay, if it's vampires, I'm fine.
Anyway, it's like all the magical creatures, okay?
Right.
But it's I don't know. I just love like the whole setting and the premise and the small town and like all of it.
You love little
is
towns in the
ex-best
woods
friend.
too.
It's just I
You love all these things. I love it.
Susan wrote this for me, okay? Thank you.
Speaking of
That
creepy,
is
I
all.
just started Vespertine, and that's also Caitlin Davis.
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
audiobook narrator. I'm like,
Audiobook
that's not the
narration.
author.
Audiobook, yes.
I'm sure somebody
No.
else wrote that.
No.
You're like, no.
Yeah, I think it's Caitlin Davis. I'm almost positive. I'm like gonna turn this on and it's gonna be super loud.
I've
but-
only listened to like 4 audiobooks this year, and 2 have been her, so I was pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I'm almost positive. It's not telling me. But anyway, the audiobook is good either way, even if it's not Caitlin Davis. The narrator's doing a really good job with it, which, you know, I have a thing about listening to it really fast. And if the narrator's not good enough to go fast, then it's a problem because then I'm like, I can read this faster on my own. So she does a great job at it. Anyway, that's my book. I'm very excited. That is going to be what I'm reading next, since I want to finish it. So I'm not done with it yet, but if you guys have read it or will read it soon, like, come back because it just came out, so sorry about that. But when you do read it, come talk to me about it because I would like to know if anybody else is enjoying this as much as I am. But Clary, what are you reading next?
I have just started reading College of Shadows by Mark Wells, which is another creepy monster book, but this time set in Cambridge University.
Oh, fun. Okay. Hannah, are you looking up to see what you're reading next?
I am. Well, okay, because I started a while ago reading Jessica Sundin's new Snow White book, but it got like super dark. She's got World War II vibes and like a little, a touch of genocide going on, a dark force that kills
That's all?
everybody
Okay.
bit by bit. And I was like, I can't do this anymore, even though I love her and I love her writing. And
Yeah.
I was like, So I'm reading, I picked it up again, but I have like a deal with myself. And I'm reading
Okay.
that. So I was looking up the name. It's of Heart and Stone. It used to be called Heroine, but she rebranded it because it's easier to remember. Of Heart and
Okay.
Stone. If you want to read the opposite of what my Snow White's going to be, then you should read that one. She writes the best characters and super satisfying, but she goes to dark places. And then I'm reading this book called Ellie and the Prince, I think. Sorry, I'm trying to look it up.
Okay.
And she's it's like I don't know, vaguely Cinderella-ish. It's this girl named, I think it's Ellie and not Ella. She works at a castle that's like a magic resort that like royalty comes to like, in the summer to hang out and do stuff. And she's in charge of the like pest control for magical creatures.
Nice.
So like magical creatures get loose in the castle and she has to like put on her coveralls and like hunt them down, and then she's got to like keep them all in little magic boxes in her cottage until she can like relocate them. And then she falls in love with a prince that comes there every summer. And I don't know what else is going to happen next, but there's these little like soot sprite kind of guys that she had to go after, and they were starting like tiny fires whenever they got upset. It was like a whole family of them, and she had to like put them in little boxes. So obviously like this is like what I'm reading before I fall asleep. So I'll read like 2 chapters
Yeah.
of Heart and Stone and like 1 chapter of that so that I can sleep.
That's
How I do
adorable.
it. It seems super cute. I'm hoping by the end, like I think it's also going to be like a very clean read because I'm starting to get my 12-year-old into some of this. So I'm like, maybe this seems like be a fun one for her maybe.
That's cool. That sounds cute.
This is why I read 10 books at a time. Like then I have my audiobook, and then I have a nonfiction book, and then I have a book on my phone.
You gotta do what you gotta do,
That
okay?
works.
We gotta get through these TBR piles somehow.
It's more efficient to read 5 at once. That's what I do.
Exactly.
I'm with you, Hannah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's not just one ebook. I'm reading one on Kindle, and I'm reading one on Kobo, and I'm reading one on Google Play, and I'm reading one of them.
Oh, yeah, see, I'm
there
in
you go.
KU, so I have just 2 Kindle books, and then I'll have like Libby, like the library app.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. Okay, so currently I have the nonfiction book that I'm reading, and then I am buddy reading another book actually that we just started. It's on Kindle, and then I'm listening to this one, and then I do have a hardback. I'm reading oh my gosh, how do you say that name? It's like a creepy gothic Mexican book. I don't remember. It's like set in Mexico, and there's a creepy house, and it's supposed to be really spooky and scary, and Once again, it's not spooky and scary enough for me, but it's fine. The writing is good, so I'm enjoying
More
it. But I just
atmospheric.
started that. Yeah, I'm like, if you can do the atmosphere correctly, I'm okay. It not actually like scaring me, you know. I just want to like feel the moody feels. So if you give me that, I'm good. It's supposed to have a really good romance, I think. So I'm excited to get to that.
Whatever
part.
that book's called. Something.
Whatever the Hacienda, maybe. I butchered that probably. I will look it up and I will put it in the link with the rest of the books that we talked about, so you guys can check that out and read any of these books if you want.
Or 5.
If you have,
at once,
you know,
whichever.
all of them at once.
However you do it.
All of them, all 15 at the same time. But yeah, go ahead and check that out. If you have read any of these books, come talk to us on Instagram. We're also on Facebook. Everything is under at Reading Queens Pod. So we are here to talk books, always. Also other things, just chickens. If you want to talk about chickens,
houseplants, pie, whatever.
Yeah, just do it. Okay, we're here for you. We want to have these conversations. Clarinets. But this will be all for us for this episode. Go ahead and give us a follow on Instagram and Facebook, and then leave us a star rating or a review. Those help us, and then tell everybody to come listen to our podcast, because obviously it is the best thing ever. And why wouldn't you want to be here every Wednesday with a new episode, you know, to listen to? So yeah, that will be all. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.